Hello comrades, today we be looking at cardboard kalashnikov AK47 Type tool. Before we get into this video, if you enjoy this kind of content, click that big red button that says subscribe below. And hell, while you're down there, click that bell too. So for today's vote, we will be voting for next type of gun. Assault rifle, pistols, SMG and snipers. So vote now.
Oh, and also, if you want to see how I built this gun, I will be uploading a time lapse, which is the first time for me, and it would be nice if you watched it and give me some feedback. So yeah, the link will be in the description and there. Yeah, so go watch that after you watch this video, and it will be also be in the end cards. Yeah, we will just start from the back. So from the back here, you can see there's like the stock screws, and then the top is curved. You have the screw notch and one at the bottom as well there, and you have a sling mount, which I will show you that can mount a sling later. And then we will move on to the most distinctive part about the Type 2, which is this metal socket, and you can see it here like this. And then after that, we'll go on the grip, which is like all my other guns I've made now, curved beautifully. And you can see it's a 2-layer thing. I made this first, I made this, and you have the trigger handguard, trigger guard. The trigger is spring-loaded. Well, not spring-loaded, but it has a rubber band, so it comes back. And yeah. And then moving up to here, we have a working fire selector, which full auto, semi, and safe, which goes up and just goes in there. Well, the reason this doesn't fit like perfectly, it actually does, but this is cardboard. I can't really bend it and hold it in place, so this really, yeah. It's a dust cover, who cares? Okay, to the magazine here. This is a pedal style magazine, and it just locks in and comes out like that. So this is like the real mag. It's really detailed. This is the
durable, will run until the end of time, but really quite heavy option for AK magazines.
This part locks into this thing here. You can see here, there's a little hole here, which is the thing locking this in place. This is spring loaded. There is a spring inside this, otherwise I couldn't even make this work. But yeah, and so this just rocks in and click. And then the bottom's detailed as well. And then these are just some details, and this is some reinforcements just like this.
There's a reinforced section right at the front and also one at the rear.
And then we'll go on to the part which I'm most proud of, dust cover and the bolt. So here we have the bolt, spring loaded. It comes all the way back and spring loaded. It makes a really satisfying bang. And then this is just the other side. We have the same details and reinforcement and a rail for the dust cover to sit on.
We have a full-length rail here for the dust cover to sit on.
That is one of the reasons why I picked the Type 2. Actually, not that. I just, whatever, and then I just noticed this little detail and I was like, oh, nice. Then I don't have to work on I don't have to glue this in. Which brings us to the next part. The dust cover is removable. Well, before that, here's a serial number. If you are a cultured weeb, you would know what this number is. So like a real AK, well, this is not like a real AK. I kind of messed up here because, well, it's my first AK47 with an actual guide rod that works, which I'll show you now. Push this back in, just pull this out, boom, voila, this comes off. It's just a dust cover, nothing else, nothing holding it in. It's just held in by this, and this is just for so it doesn't like flop around. But as you can see here, the bolt still works. We're not done yet. This can be taken out as well, as you can see. So lift this out, you just push in and lift out, and then the whole thing comes out. For, you know, like if this snaps, I can just replace it. This is slowed so that I can actually fit it into this tube, like otherwise this would just hit the bottom of this and won't work. And so this goes in like this and then just sits on the top. So yeah. And then there's this little indent here which goes into the back pin here, which also holds the trigger spring, which I will now show you. Everything is removable, all the pins. As you can see here, if this snaps, I can easily just hold this and then just push it out and pull from the other side. And there you go. That's the back pin. I'm going to put it there. And so you can take this. At that time I didn't want to take the rubber band out because I don't want to waste time putting it back in, but it's just hooked in to the back of the trigger and it just comes out if I want to replace it. So like after the video I realized I have to take a picture of it, so I'll just include it here as well. And then this the fire selector and the safety comes out for, you know, if this breaks someday, and also so that it gets out of the way. And then you can replace this. This comes out, so you can see like this. It just comes out. But I wouldn't pull it all the way because I don't really need to replace my trigger now. And no, I will just put it back in where it come from. These are the holes for my fire selector. And then this can be taken out, but I don't really want to because I don't want the spring to come out and I will never put it back in again. Yeah. And so you can see a little bit more detail on the handguard here, but before that we're going to take a look at the fire selector. It's a multi-layered paper selector. I just tested this method. It works pretty well. As you can see here, my old AKs, I just used a thick piece as a base layer. This time I laid like one piece of paper instead. As you can see with both of my AKs, the Groza and my AK74U, these are all very thick, as you can see now. But this one, it's very thin, like the real thing. And this worked out pretty well, as you can see. It stays straight, barely bends, and yeah, it even has a slot for the...
With the Type 2, they actually added a little bit of a recess right here, presumably so that if one of these pins was oversized for some reason and sticking out at all, you could still engage the selector lever.
As you can see here, this is the barrel and this is the gas tube place. There is actually a gas tube in there. So here in there you can see it's white, I think you can. Yeah, there you go. It's white, and then there's a gray part, and that gray part is that cardboard piece here. And then, well, I kind of messed up the dimensions of this, so it doesn't actually show a two parts thing, but it works for what it is. Now I will show you the reassemble of the gun. So first I need to put the rear pin back in, which goes from here. Put my rubber band in. Okay, so this goes in. And then this just goes through, and there we go. And it's held in place now. Now we put the fire selector back in, and the safety of course. And then this just goes through. There we go. I'll put on semi. And then this whole thing slides in. So I put the rails of the bolt in, and then that's good. And then I lift this whole thing and do this, and then check again. This has come out. This is bad. I just have to press it in and then push in, and now if I reach this part, I just push it down, push the whole assembly down, fix the bolt position, and then just do this. As you can see, this indent goes into the rear rod just like this. So I just pull back, and then this doesn't fall out or anything. It never falls out, and then yeah, it just works again. We'll put our dust cover back on. I push the guide rod back a little bit. I fit this that rod into this hole. There's a little slot there of the cardboard, so I slip it in, and then I go to the back. I fit everything in, and then I added this little piece of reinforcement for the back of the dust cover. Because, you know, why not? And then after this, I hold it down, check everything is in place. This is my first time making a working removable dust cover, so the dimensions are a little bit off. But it works as what it's supposed to do. It does what it's supposed to do and doesn't fall out. So I push this down, I hold it, and I pull this back out. And voila! We have the working dust cover. And it doesn't fall out, as you can see. Even after I shake it so many times, nothing has moved. And so, this is the magazine block, I guess. I'll call it that. This is just a separator and a reinforcement for these sides. And then now we move on to the sights, which, man, these are really cool. You can see here, there's a notch here, and there's a notch here. And then to the front side, you can see there's this little bar and a white notch, well, a tube. And you look through that, there we go. So yeah, sights line up. This is heavily detailed, I would say. I didn't really know how this worked at first, but now I know. So you have this, this doesn't move, it's just for details. And then this whole sight, as you can see, flips up and can go to the other side, which I don't know why would you want that. It's just held in by a little wire. It can come out, but I don't really want to do it. Look, it can move out, but it won't walk out by its own. And so I put this back down, and you can see these two slopes and this round item. The real one has a button on it to like adjust. This one just does this, which as you can see does a really good job of adjusting the sight. Yeah, it's really cool.
It's the same picture as the one I showed you when I talked about the trigger, but in case you didn't know, yeah, that's everything taken out with the sight as well.
And that's the front sight. And now to the blower head, or to the hand guard, as you can see, it's curved. It's really cool. It's curved. And then this is also curved. And then to the front, here you have the front sling mount, and now I will show you a clip of the sling mount working. So one bit goes in here, so this just slides in. There we go. If you can I don't even know if you can see that, but yeah. So like this, basically. Yeah, and you can. I'll show you a picture of me wearing this on my back. So to the very front here we have, this is my first time at making anything that's fluted, which is, I would say it's a pretty good success. I kind of messed up here, but yeah. So yeah, you can see this is pretty cool and detailed. And then the front stuff, yeah. And then to the front side, it's just a piece of block thing. So this is the front side with the side, the protectors, I guess. And so if you can see it, I think you can see a little bit. The barrel actually is threaded. You can see this little bumps, and it's around the whole front barrel. I tried. Well, it's fine, I guess. This rod here is the cleaning rod, which held in by place. It's held in, which as you can see, it doesn't fall out. I have to pull it. Well, it's just a skewer. I don't really want to do anything with it, but yeah, you can clean the thing and shove it back in the holes. There we go. And shove it in two, back to the final hole, and then you go. There you go. Yes, I do have a few parts where I messed up. this, for example, this is a big, too big. It should be same as this.
Thanks for watching this video. If you enjoyed it, subscribe and like. And I will hopefully see you in the next video. Goodbye, до свидания.